What is going on, guys? Datcoopguy here, and today we're going to be talking about a guide for free-to-play players to play Diablo Immortal. A survival guide, so to speak, because this game is chock full of microtransactions, and it gets a little scary trying to figure out how to play the game without spending any money. And that's the goal today, is to make sure that you don't spend a dime while playing this game, and to get yourself fully kitted out with different legendaries, gems, and an overall decent build when jumping into the fray. So without further ado, let's dive in and talk about some of the different tips and tricks to make it to where you can actually play the game free to play. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the bounty board. The bounty board is a great way to, 1, get XP, 2, get a bunch of items that you could scrap, because honestly the rewards from this are not great half the time, but it doesn't matter. More scrap, more upgrades, happy life. But when you get to level 40, you're going to start noticing that the game will constantly level cap, and it might be a little too high, and you might not be at that level. Bounties are the way to kind of catch you up to be able to get to that level to where you can move on to the next thing. As you can see here, I can't move on to the next zone until I hit level 56. So bounties are a good way to level your character up so that you can get to the next area very quickly. So basically, in short, you'll get a bunch of quests here. You'll get about 4 of them, and it'll be random kill quests out in the world. It'll specifically be to one region for the first 4, the second 4, and the third 4, and then the last one will be you going all over the area. Then, once you complete them, you'll be given platinum, which you can use later on, which we'll talk about that in a bit. But it is a great way to get levels. It also has the potential to give you legendary gear here. So, really good way, because as a free-to-play player, we're not trying to buy our way into getting legendary gear. We're going to earn that the hard way. And it's not really that hard. It only takes roughly a couple of minutes to sometimes 10 to 15 minutes per sesh if I go really long with it. And it's a good way to just get legendary gear that you wouldn't otherwise get. And it has a high chance, it seems like almost every day I end up getting one piece of legendary gear from it. Whether it's the same item or not, it is what it is. But you can just go to the essence trainer later on. But basically, just do bounties. It'll get you levels. It'll get you scrap to help upgrade your stuff. And it has the potential to give you legendaries. And it's rather quick. So highly recommend that. Now let's talk about another way for you to get upgrades for your character. And it's not this thing over here. It's actually this thing right here, which is the challenge rifts. Challenge rifts are a great way to give yourself some more XP, some more gear, some more scrap. Another way to help you level up your character, and it gets more and more challenging as time goes on. Also, based off of how far you end up getting on there, you'll get daily challenge rewards from it, allowing you to get even more cool stuff from it. And as you can see here, you'll also get a lot more if you get with higher standing. So, highly recommend checking that out. And on top of it, let's jump into the next point here of talking about Elder Rifts. So, over the course of the games, you'll be getting your crests, and eventually you kind of get to the point where there's a drought. There's not many out there. What do you do? Because you want to craft some legendaries, and you want to craft some legendary gems, so to speak. Now, the way that you're going to be doing that is not so much with this system at all, but as you play this system, you'll get fading embers. And then what you're going to do with those fading embers is you're going to go over to this vendor guy here. And then he's going to have a bunch of these random runes. And you're going to be wanting to buy these runes later on for specific legendary gems that you're going to want to get to. So we'll just navigate over to this guy real quick and show you how to craft your legendary gems specifically to help out with your build, which we'll talk about builds in a second as well. So we'll walk right on over here and check out the legendary gem vendor here. There it is.
Hello.
So if you go over here, you'll actually be able to craft legendary gems. Now, how do you do that? Well, you get these runes. Specifically, these types of runes will drop from the different crests that you get, and then you'll buy the specific ones to build out the gems that you want. This is what I did for my build when building my character. Now, speaking of builds, let's jump into the next point. Talking about builds, it's very hard to build your character out and kind of figure out how you want to play your character. And there are a lot of choices, especially in the battle pass and login rewards and everything else, where you get to pick specific legendaries. So it's important to kind of know what you're going to build ahead of time So if you look over on next to my weapon, just to the left of that, there's like a little like armor looking symbol, like almost looks like a bag. You click that, and it has very good optimal builds that you can build off of. Specifically, the one that I've been building on is this one right here, the Summoner build, and it has all the legendaries out there that I should get. It has all the gems I should get, so this is going to be the next gem I end up buying from that gem vendor I just showed you guys. And I know that when I get my daily login tomorrow from playing Diablo for 5 days, I'm going to choose this helmet, so that way I have my full build. So that's going to be very important, is figuring out what type of build you want to do and pieces out there. We're not rich. We're not trying to spend a bunch of money here. And this is a way for us to get those power-ups, get that build, and have it kind of planned out from the beginning so we don't end up wasting our time accidentally getting legendaries that we didn't want to get. Next thing we're going to talk about is the market. So the market uses a currency called platinum. And platinum, you most of the time can either buy, or you can end up getting it from completing all your bounties for the day, which is how I managed to get mine. Now on top of it, we'll just show you here, you can end up buying a lot of the gems to help power up your character. So such as the Aquamarine here, I could buy, you know, a bunch of these and then combine them into better versions of it. And you can buy legendary gems. Now legendary gems are oftentimes a little costly, but if you end up getting a duplicate gem and you want to sell it, you can sell it over here. So that's a good way of being able to generate some income, and possibly if you get a duplicate gem that you didn't really want, you can then sell it, somebody will buy it, and then you can end up buying the gem that you really want to get. So if I end up selling one legendary gem, I can go and buy the gems that I really want. That's an alternative way for us to be able to get gems for free for the specific slots that we want. So with the gem vendor and us doing our daily bounties, and then if we get any duplicates, selling those, and then we can buy specifically the gems we want to get that 5-set gem bonus that we really are striving for. The thing I'm going to talk to you guys is about Hilts, because when I first played the game, I had no clue what the hell Hilts were and what they even did. So in your codex, as you start completing a lot of these conquest-based activities here, you're going to generate a lot of Hilts. Now, what the hell do you use these Hilts for? Well, I had no clue until later on, where I found out there is a Hilts vendor. Hilts are an alternative way for you to buy a lot of the paid features, such as getting legendary items, getting legendary crests. This is what you're mainly going to end up spending a lot of it on. There's also a legendary gem in here. You can pick that up if you really are desperate for a legendary gem. I would not recommend buying any of the stuff down there and below, as these are going to be the two that you go for. I wouldn't even recommend buying this one. You're honestly going to want to buy the legendary crest there, because that's another way of getting yourself another legendary gem that you need. So, if in the event that you really badly do need a legendary, you can get one from here. Specifically, as we said in our earlier part about how you're trying to build a build, you really want a lot of your legendaries to kind of work together in order for you to have that build. That's why I recommended the recommended builds, as they are king, honestly, for jumping into the fold and getting into the good content out there. Very easy, not that hard, and I highly recommend it. It's one of the best ways to do it, and it's a way to kind of speed you up and kind of catch up and be on par with those paid players. So anyways, guys, that's kind of my guide as a free-to-play player on how to survive Diablo Immortal as not paying for anything. It's very difficult, and there are a lot of better catch-up methods by just paying for it, but I specifically have been playing this game trying my hardest not to spend a damn dime on that sort of system, as I don't think they are good. I think a lot of those systems are predatory, and a lot of those bonus chests aren't actually good in value because of some of the things I just showed you, especially with the hilt guy. You could have spent $2 trying to get a legendary crest, or you could have just gone to this guy and got it instead. And I get it. There are ways of making it to where it's a lot easier by spending $5 or $10, but I don't think that you guys should be spending any money. I think you should be enjoying Diablo Immortal as it is and not spending any money as kind of a middle finger and saying that we don't like this practice, and that way that Diablo 4 can be a good experience for us all. So Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am very low on subscribers. I have high views, but low subscribers, and I'm trying to make the balance of making it to where I make better content for you guys out there, and in order to do that, I need to build up an audience. And on top of that, if I end up getting up to 3K subscribers, and I also get above 2 million views, which I'm about to be, I'm only about 100,000 away. Once that happens, I will be doing a Steam card giveaway of 2 $50 gift cards. So, without further ado, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys have a better journey in Diablo Immortal now that I've shown you these tips and tricks so that you don't spend any money. Thank you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.